Hi, I'm Joel Elston. I'm a life coach in Richmond, Virginia, and I'm working on my YouTube channel. I think this is my second or third video. I wanted to talk today about subconscious programming, how it happens, what it means, and how it begins. So I want to start on the basics. I always like to use analogies and stories. When I was a kid, probably 4 or 5 years old, in Plant City, the town in Florida that I grew up in, we had a strawberry festival. It was a big event. It still goes on. It was just the sort of the big event of the year in our small town. And my mom, when I was about five, when we would go, I wanted to ride the roller coaster. They had a little kiddie roller coaster, and my mom was like, "Oh my gosh, no, those are very dangerous. There's people that die every year on those." And I was like, "Wow, really?" And she said, "Yeah, the carnies that put those together, they're a bunch of drunks." Well, my mom dealt with a bunch of anxiety, and she had a reason to, but she had a history of addiction and alcohol in her family, so she was very biased and very aware of anyone being drinking. So she has decided in her mind that roller coasters and any carnival ride was very dangerous. So every year we would go back for the first 3 or 4 years, and even until I was like 10 or 11, and all my friends were riding the roller coaster, and I was not allowed to ride the roller coaster. In fact, I was told it was dangerous, and every year people die. So that became planted in my brain as a subconscious belief. It was something that I believed. It just became part of who I was. So I did have a belief eventually that roller coasters were dangerous, and I was scared of roller coasters. Living in Central Florida, we had the advantage of being probably about 35, 45 minutes away from Disney World. So when I was about 13, Space Mountain was a big thing at Disney World. And so our church group was going, and we were going to, all the boys were like, "We're going to ride Space Mountain." And it was relatively new at the time. A side of me wanted to go because I wanted to be with my peer group. Also, this little girl I had a crush on, so I didn't want to miss out. However, I simultaneously was horrified on getting on Space Mountain because, as you know, at this point, many people die on roller coasters every year, and I didn't want to be one of those. So I decided to go. The whole time I was there, all I could think about was the roller coaster and how scary it was going to be, and what if I died on the roller coaster. And all my friends seemed to be very happy, and I was having this internal dialogue all the way there. So when we first got there, there was like a 2 hour wait for Space Mountain. So a side of me was like, "Oh, thank goodness." Well, you're asking a bunch of 13-year-olds to wait 2 hours to ride a ride. Didn't make sense. So we went and read all the others, which none of them are scary. They're just, they're not roller coasters per se. They're more like ride through type things. So we had a great time, had really good. Finally, as we were nearing the end of the day, one of the guys said, "We're going to go ride the roller coaster. We're going to go ride Space Mountain. We came here to do that." And so we were like, "Oh." So as I was walking, I had a decision to make. Was I going to ride Space Mountain? Was I going to sit outside and wait, make up some excuse? I already said my stomach hurt a little bit. I started to plan an excuse. So as we arrived, a miracle in my mind happened. We came from sort of the backside. Tomorrowland is in Disney World. We came in from where the exit of Space Mountain was, and there were hundreds of people coming out. There was 5-year-olds, there was grandpas, there were 60-year-olds, there was whatever. And there was a moment in my mind where I realized, wait a minute, this isn't a dangerous thing. Grandpas are not taking their kids on something, their grandkids on something they're going to die on. And they were all laughing and smiling, and I seemed to be the only one that had this programming that somehow this was dangerous. So I had, on the way in, I was questioning, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this information is incorrect. Maybe what I believe about roller coasters, maybe everybody else is right and I'm wrong. So that allowed me to go wait in line. And as we did that, I was able to get right on and loved it. Ended up having a great time. We rode it 3 more times that night. I love riding roller coasters. I've gotten on planes and flown to ride a new roller coaster across the country. I take my kids on roller coasters. I still, to this day, I love roller coasters. The programming my mom had instilled, this isn't bashing my mom, but the programming she instilled created a false belief. This is a relatively benign false belief. It doesn't really, but I'm using that as an example to how many false beliefs do we have? How many do you have? And are they preventing you from being successful? Is there a belief you can't do these things? What is your false beliefs? I challenge you to look at your programming, figure out what's not working, and there is a process of reprogramming. We'll address that later. Really enjoyed talking to you today. Thanks a lot. Bye.